What in the world is Barcelona thinking? What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? And today I'm doing this video very quickly. It just got me completely by surprise. So I apologize if it's a little bit faster. It's from my phone. It's not on the usual setup that we do, but I just had to comment on this. There is breaking news from Sky Sports Italia saying that the transfer deal, the swap deal between Juventus and Barcelona involving Miralem Pjanic and Arthur is very close to completion. I must admit that the following news is very worrying, especially if you're a Barcelona fan. If you are from another outside club, you might just be thinking that this would be a great deal for Juventus. So if you're not too sure with what I'm saying, well, the news reported by Sky Sports Italia today is that Juventus has agreed a fee of 80 million euros or 72.5 million pounds. This is an absolutely astronomical fee for a player like Arthur, and to be completely honest, is a fee that would make sense because we have a player that many Barca fans and the club itself value him very highly. However, the question mark really comes into place when we think about how Pjanic will be included in this deal, because it's said that Juventus is offering Pjanic plus 10 million euros. That makes absolutely no sense and really begs me to question whether the news that is being reported suggests that it's either a separate fee of 80 million euros plus Pjanic, or is it a thing where Juventus values Pjanic at around 70 and then they're offering 10 million euros on top of that. This has to be very worrying from any perspective that you look at it, because Juventus are getting an exceptional deal if the latter that I just mentioned is to make actually sense. If we have Pjanic plus 10 million euros, it's possibly the worst thing that Barcelona could do, because they're looking at Pjanic like it's going to be the next revolutionary midfield, and they're losing out on a player like Arthur that could potentially be a pivotal kind of building block for what could be the next generation of Barcelona. And that is just simply outstanding. We know that some recent weeks ago, there was a publication suggesting that Barcelona's sporting plan was to incorporate veteran players so that then they can help the adaptation of younger players as well. And next to that, they will have even much more control of a midfield, because that is what they apparently thought. But if you take a look at the stats, you take a look at what's actually happening around football, you would tend to notice that that doesn't necessarily mean the case, because we see very young midfielders out there, like someone like Joshua Kimmich, which is of the very same age of someone like Arthur Melo, really imposing himself in a Bayern Munich midfield, and he's the main guy there. You see other examples in other clubs. For instance, I can say someone like Mateo Kovacic is doing absolutely incredible at a place like Chelsea, and even at Juventus. You see yourself with Rodrigo Betancourt, a player that is probably the best player, I would say, to have a season at their club outside Ronaldo. So it doesn't really add up. And I think that Barcelona would be gifting Juventus then a player that would help them a lot more. And that is simply not the case. Why strengthen the rival oppositions when you have a player that is perfectly fine for your system already? And that is very disappointing. However, we also have to mention that Arthur hasn't necessarily given the yes okay, and that is something that makes me a little bit more relaxed in a sense, because we know that Juventus have also commented through Nicola Schira, an Italian reporter, that they are finalizing the swap deal, but they only need the agreements of the two players. They need the agreement from Pjanic and the agreement from Arthur. And Arthur is missing out on still yet. There are going to be talks being held today and tomorrow between Arthur and the representatives of Juventus so that they can see whether they can convince the Brazilian midfielder. And let's hope, guys, let's really hope that in 48 hours, Arthur decides to stay. So yeah, guys, we only have to wait and see what is going to happen with this situation. Hopefully Arthur decides to stay and make the right thing, take the right decision. So for the time being, guys, I'm going to just wait for you for the game against Atletico Bilbao. We're gonna comment on that one afterwards. And then I have a video prepared for you tomorrow about Frankie de Jong and how really he has been truly important for this midfield and for this generation of Barca, and how we might replace him for the time that he's currently injured. So yeah, that's gonna be it for right now. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.